Welcome back, Isabella. Glad to see you again. You just answered all of the questions, and we have your results here. But before I give you the results from that, we're going to do a little bit of work in our workbook. And this will be yours to keep when we're all done, okay? But answering the questions, was that okay for you, or were any of them tricky for you? Or?
They were pretty easy.
They were pretty easy for you? Yeah. So when you had to make a choice, it wasn't a problem?
No.
Okay, great. Well, let's go ahead then, and we'll start in our workbook. And let's start at page 2, please. Okay. So page 2 tells us that we're going to be talking about type. It's going to be called your personality type. And that once we know that, it helps us understand who we are. It helps us take care of ourselves so that we can do what we have to do whatever the job is. And it's going to help us appreciate people who may not be exactly like us. So now we're going to say that this is going to help us understand our best way for learning, for making friends, and for getting our work and our play all organized. It's only going to tell what is wonderful and good about you, but it is going to help you understand what is your best way for working and living with other people. When you use your 2 hands, like you picked up your pen and you put it in that hand, because that's your preferred hand, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the one you like to use the most?
Yes.
Why do you like to use that hand the most?
Because I'm left-handed.
Oh, and when it's being left-handed and you put the pen in that hand, does it feel more comfortable or less comfortable? Or
It feels more comfortable.
it's more comfortable for you there? And yet, for me, I'm more comfortable with this hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we each have our own preferred way. But if I broke this hand and I had to use my other hand, I could. How about you? Could you use that other hand if you had to?
Yes, but I wouldn't be able to do it as good as with my left hand.
That's exactly it. You'd have to work a little bit harder, wouldn't you? Guess what? Your personality is exactly the same. One part of you is going to be your strong side, your strength, and you can just use it. And the other side is called your stretch side, which means I might have to stretch, or I might have to work harder, or I might have to concentrate to use that side. I can, but it's not going to be as easy or as comfortable as when I get to use my way. Okay? So when it talks about your strengths and your stretches and your personality, just think of it as like, oh, my strength is my way I can do best for me. And my stretch is that part that I just might have to work harder and practice to make it work well. Okay? All right. It's important for us to remember all types are smart. So one type is not smarter than another type. All types can make mistakes, so everybody can goof up sometime. And all types can do a good job. So as long as we all do our work, we're all going to be able to do a good job. But what's really important for us to know is that your personality isn't going to tell anybody what you will think, do, or say. That's your choice. You choose what you want to do or say, but it will be about your energy, your natural energy, your strength energy. Just like it was natural for you to pick up your pencil in your left hand, your personality has a natural side for you. Okay? What we're going to do is figure out what those sides are that work best for you. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a thing called I am a good student. And there are many ways to be a good student. We're going to look at some descriptions of I could be a good student in the first box way, or I could be a good student in the second box way. And you get to decide which one do you think sounds more like you. Okay? May not be exactly like you, but which one is more like you. Okay? So in the first box, it says I'm a good student because I raise my hand a lot to talk. I like hearing what I say. I would like to study with friends so we can tell each other what we know. I like some noise while I'm working because too quiet is boring. I like it when people let me keep talking until my idea makes sense. Or I'm a good student because I raise my hand when I have a good idea or when I know the answer. I don't like it when 2 people talk at the same time. I like to study on my own because too much noise distracts me. I like to know what I want to say before I raise my hand. And in a new class, I'm usually quiet until I get to know the teacher and some of the other students. So which of those good students do you think is more like you?
The second box.
The second box? Okay. So take your pen and just trace around that circle for that second box, because that's the one that you think sounds more like you. Was there a part there that was just exactly right for you?
The last one.
About in a new class?
Yes.
You're usually? Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. This time we're going to be looking at a new set of how to be a good student. And both are great. It's whichever one you like best or think looks like you the most, okay?
Okay.
So this first one, you see what they've got in that picture? It's kind of like a magnifying glass looking at that little bug. It's because the person there says, oh, I love information. And I want to learn all the information I can, because lots of information helps me understand ideas better. And I like good, clear directions, because I want the teacher to tell me what they want me to do and how to do it, so I know how to do things the right way. And I like it best when we study a little bit and then get to try out what we use, try to use what we've learned. And I like to go over things again that we already know, so I can prove I still know it well. Or I like making the project more than coming up with the idea for the project. Doing the project is the fun part rather than the idea part. Okay? Or you might be a good student because I have to work hard to remember facts. I know what I mean, but sometimes I forget the details because I get so excited about the idea. That the idea is just fun. And I like my ideas to be a little bit different. I like them to be kind of unique and special. So I might not see things exactly like others see them because I look for special ways of putting the information together. And I want my projects to be special, and I want them to be a little bit different. And I like doing things in a different way than others in the class. So doing the design of the idea is far more fun than doing the project of the idea. So are you a good student who looks for all that information and likes doing the work and the project after the idea? Or are you a good student who likes coming up with the idea and doing things in a way that's kind of unique and different?
I like doing it when it's unique and different.
Do you like that? Okay. So then you would circle the second one. Don't you just love those trees?
Yeah.
They're kind of unique and different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we've got another set of how you can be a good student. In this third set of how you can be a good student, either one again could be wonderful. Did you see how that first picture is like a puzzle?
Yeah.
And all those pieces fit together? Well, in the first set, this person is a good student because they like to solve the problem. And they like to figure out how all of those pieces fit together to come up with the best answer. And so they put information into groups and figure things out. Since I know what I do well, and I don't want to have to worry about a teammate who can't do the work as well. So they like to know what they're good, that they do well, and then they can be very aware of what they have to work hard to do well. Love to ask why, want to understand why, tell people what they think so that people can understand exactly what they see as true and right. And they'd like to make choices that are logical and make a lot of sense. Okay? So this person solves the problem and puts all the pieces together in a way that makes the most sense. The other person is a good student because look at their picture. They like to work with people and make things work out for people. So they like working with their friends on teams, and they like cooperating with others because that makes that team work together just a little bit better. They want to help everybody on the team do a really good job. And they like when people give compliments or are friendly, and they think it's important to tell people when they're doing well. They make choices based on what they think is important, and sometimes it may not always be logical, but it's important and they think it's right. So they get focused on how to help people to get the job done well. And the top student says, I'm a good student because I help solve the problem so people can do their work. So you're more like the person who solves the problem to help people, or do you help people so they can kind of figure out what's the best thing to do?
I think the first one.
The first one sounds good to you? Okay. So then you would circle that one. And what do you like about that description that seems right for you?
Because I like to figure things out.
Do you? Do you do a lot of puzzle solving and brain teasers, that kind of thing? Are you good at it?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay. So we have one last one to look at. And in this last section of I Am a Good Student, there are again 2 different ways. So if we look at our first picture here, this person is looking at things that make a direction, a plan. It's like, okay, I want to know what I'm going to do today, and I make a plan and figure out I can get this done, and this done, and then I want to do that. I don't like it when people come and mess up my good plan. So I also like to know what's going to happen. Surprises aren't as much fun if they happen all the time. I'd rather have an idea. I know what's going to happen. And even if it's going to be a surprise, I'd rather you say, so Saturday you'll get a surprise, so I can plan ahead to be ready for that surprise. And when a teacher gives an assignment, I like to get started right away. I don't want to wait. The sooner I get my work done, then I have more time to play. So I like to get all my work done, and then I can go play. And when I'm working and it's getting close to being time to turn it in and I'm still not done, that makes me feel all kinds of antsy inside and not comfortable. I want to be done before the teacher says, you have to turn it in right now, because I don't like rushing at the last moment. Okay, if that's the kind of I am a good student you are. Or if you're the bottom kind of I am a good student, you would say, oh, I like to make a plan. I want to know what I'm going to do, but I don't care if we change it. Maybe something better comes along and I just feel like, okay, I can do that too. And I change my mind. I want to be ready, but not too early. So if I start to do my work and I still have time, I'm okay if I say, I'll come back and finish that later, because I might get a good idea in between. And that way, if I wait till the end, I can get my work done best when I'm thinking at the end. My good ideas come sometimes near that deadline when it's due, and the teacher says, okay, pick what you're going to draw. I'm like, oh, okay, now my best idea would come then. I know I have to do work, but work likes to be fun. So I like to mess around and kind of joke around while I'm working. That helps me work more efficiently. But this person says, oh, I just want to get all my work done, and then I can play and have a wonderful time. So does this kind of good student sound more like you, or this kind of good student?
This one, the
That one
first one.
sounds more like you. Okay. And what did you think was cool about that student that sounded like you?
Because I like to have more time to play than study.
And so to get that more time to play and study, do you hurry up and get your homework done? Yeah. Okay, go ahead and circle that one, dear. Perfect. So on the next page, it reminds us that there are a lot of ways you can do a job well. You might have a way to make it work well, and I might have a different way, but we both get the job done, don't we? And that's the important thing. And there are a lot of ways we can be on a team and be good team members. You might have a special way that you do it. I could be different, but that's okay. And that we might have a lot of different ways that we come up with new ideas. I might come up with my ideas because I start with something and then build on it, or you might come up with one and say, oh, I like this, and then you make it. The whole point is that there are a lot of ways to be cool and good, and we're going to discover the one that works for you best.